7:43 at KPEL. Welcome back to Acadiana's Morning News. It's Monday, Bernie.
Woohoo!
That means there are no real mistakes today. You have 4 days to make it right.
It's a good thing, man. Phew.
It's a good thing about Mondays. It's a clean slate. All the bosses in Acadiana.
Yeah.
It's a clean slate today.
Okay, so my
Don't hold
slate is
anything
clean.
against your employees that happened last week.
You're not going to hold anything against me that happened last week.
I'm giving you a pass.
Okay.
No. Joining us in studio, Jaci
Mulligan.
Russo for her regular Monday morning segment. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Hey, we are struggling with the daylight savings situation. How's it going in the Russo household?
Well, I'll take that as a segue to say, who's not struggling with daylight savings? Louisiana Raging Cajuns baseball and
I
softball.
was about to say,
They
look at my
mopped
screen.
up yesterday.
I have the calendar open. Gosh, yesterday, let me just go down the list. Men's tennis wins over Kennesaw State. Troy, baseball wins over Kennesaw State. Softball wins over South Alabama. Both games.
Yeah,
the one
and
rescheduled and yesterday.
both come from behind. The doubleheader, so I listened to the boys win at Troy and watched the girls down 6-1, 6-2. And they rallied back with an 8-run
really cool
inning. It was amazing.
It's been a great season so far. Great sports happening, and we know, Jackie, we know you had season tickets for a long time.
I did.
We've discussed
have had,
this.
yes.
Is this the best season opening that you've ever seen?
For baseball? Oh, no. 2 years ago, we dropped the first game 1-0 with Austin Robichaux on the mound, and I still can't believe they lost that game. Then they went on to win 22 straight. That was the best opening ever. I mean, but that team won 60 games that season. That's not going to happen again. That was a special moment in time.
Yeah. Well, good. Well, I think all good things to come. Excited about it.
Yes.
Okay. Well, first I want an update on Chewy's.
Okay. So next week.
Wow.
Tuesday the 22nd.
If you've driven down the new shopping center, I told Bernie I'm going today on a tour of Costco.
Ooh, what time? I'll meet you there.
And I already told Bernie, I said, now, when you ask me tomorrow how the tour went, it will, 90% be decided if I leave with a hot dog or not.
Oh, you will. You will. And a pretzel and some popcorn and a soda.
Did you know at Costco you don't have to be a member to eat at the place?
I was a Costco member when I lived in Los Angeles.
Oh, okay.
I've never, Sam's wasn't even on my mind. Yeah. Costco is what I grew up with. Yeah. And so I'm a single person living in an apartment/condo/house, depending on what day of the year that I was there. And I had a Costco membership from day one. I loved that place. Yep. That was like a Saturday field trip.
Oh, it is. And hey, if you haven't had lunch, just go on a Saturday.
What?
Have samples.
Yes.
Just walk around
the store. You don't have to buy food. You just sample your way up and down the aisles.
So, huge thing coming along. It's a big week next week. All that's going to come to life.
Right.
I can't wait to just go. I'm going to spend a day and just go place to place. Just to go see.
Wait,
everything over there.
It's really like eating your way through the center. So you have this awesome meal at Chewy's. You go do some sampling for a post app at Costco, and then wrap up at Professor Bob Bean's with some nitrogen coffee and nitrogen made ice cream.
Hey, it's really a cool thing that's coming to that end of town.
It's amazing. About it. Amazing.
So we wouldn't know about all these great things if these companies did not use SEO.
That's true.
Search engine optimization, because I guarantee if I just type in new Costco, Louisiana on Google right now, information about that development will come up.
Absolutely.
And that's why.
As a matter of fact, so when I went to Austin to go tour, we were discussing amongst the office what the published open date of Costco was. And because the people at Chewy's knew what their plans were, but they didn't know everybody else in the development, and they wanted to start sharing about other people's openings. I said, well, just Google Costco Lafayette opening, and boom. Y'all's list came up, the advocates list came up, and I was like, yeah, SEO works every time.
That's how it goes. And it's important just because people might not be searching for exactly what's in headlines of your stories or specific content, but if you maybe do a story about, let's say, here, I'll give a situation about KPEL. We're doing a story about the special session.
Right.
We might not have the words special session in the limited number of characters we have for our headlines. So we put, throw Jindal in there too. Put everyone who might be involved that people could be searching for. I always think with small businesses, put the small towns in there too. So if you're a business that's located in Lafayette, but you also serve Opelousas or also serve Abbeville, put it in there. Put it somewhere on your site because people can find you.
Absolutely. Well, because you're a business that serves all of Acadiana, you need to represent all of Acadiana. And the other thing you want is that when your competition is being searched, you need to appear. And so you need to find a way to really align yourself with all of the different words. So we always say start with figure out what people are searching. Use the Google tools to see what people do search. Well, how do they phrase it? Because they're not going to use your industry knowledge.
Correct.
They're going to search it the way a layperson who doesn't work at your company searches. Right. So you need to know that language. And don't expect them to adapt to you. More importantly, you adapt to them.
And I think it's important to say that, whenever you look at Google, say you Google let's say you Google a specific car dealership. Others will come up before it.
Absolutely.
And others will come up surrounding it. Anything that you might Google, this is what it has to do with it. And help me understand, Google really sets this crazy algorithm that is not public, and all these small businesses like yours try to figure out how to get best into it. Is that
Well, I would say Google does a pretty good job of saying, hey, these are the rules.
Okay.
What they do, though, is they change the rules every few months. And so they do it because they don't want you to game the system. They want you to earn it, fair and square. Now, you can also use Town Square Interactive because they do a great job with paid and organic SEO, because there's two different ways to go. And so I think when you look at organizations like ours, like Town Square Interactive, like anybody involved in the online space, we have to learn those rules and adapt to them and know what it takes to earn it, and then what you can do to buy it, because sometimes it's worth just paying the money.
And truthfully, what's good in what you're putting out there if people can't find it?
Right.
And how many people are going to the actual? I'll tell you this: my dad, he's the last person on earth to use two things: AOL email that until a couple months ago he was still paying for. Don't ask. And going to his websites, not through Google. I try to explain to him, it's all there.
Right.
Any search engine, it's all there. Just learn how to do it. Well, I don't want to be too specific. Test it. Be specific. You want a 2X black Saints polo shirt licensed. Put it all. Don't put in there Saints polo, because then you're going to get everything else in between. It's not going to be what you want.
Right.
Be specific about it. SEO helps with that.
Absolutely.
Be specific.
Absolutely.
Great tip.
What we did was, because it's so important and people really are still confused by it, like your dad, it's foreign land and it's complicated, and they're worried they're going to break something, and they're worried people are going to watch them and know what they're doing. And so we put together a webinar to help people. And so if you go to Raise Your Branding blog, probably after 8 o'clock today, because I think the time change has kept the post from updating.
So there's one. Okay, it may not have affected you or the Cajuns.
Oh, that's what I'm going to call it.
Yes.
See, the time change has forced me not to update.
Right.
I feel better now, yeah.
It's not your fault.
Right.
It's the computers.
It's a failure to update, okay.
Well, the computers don't believe in daylight savings time.
They don't. You're right.
They think it's wrong.
They do think it's wrong because it is wrong.
They don't want us driving to school in the dark.
That's right.
On a Monday morning.
And if you put that in a post and put a description of that in SEO, I'm telling you, it'd pop right up.
Oh, it'd have hundreds of thousands of hits pretty quick, because everybody agrees.
Post idea. How terrible is daylight savings time?
Survey that. But so after 8 a.m., if you go, you can sign up for the webinar, and we're going to talk all about SEO and what regular, normal people who do not have computer science degrees can do to help better optimize their search engine optimization.
And if you've ever heard Jackie on with us on a Monday morning and there's a topic that we might have talked about before, you think we talked about or you want to know more about, you can find those at razorbrandingblog.com as well.
That is correct.
Jaci Russo, thanks as always for joining us.
Thank you.
Go Cajuns.
Go Cajuns.
7:51 now at News Talk 96.5.